Hey, welcome to the Rally Point. It's Pastor Wes here, and I am so glad and happy that you took the time to check out this video. And today I want to ask you a question. Have you ever gone back on a vow? Have you ever promised something and never fulfilled it? Didn't quite have a chance, or something came up, or you just flat out changed your mind? Well, in Matthew chapter 5, Jesus says to his disciples, let your yes be yes and your no be no. He says, if anything other than that is from the evil one. And as I look at that scripture and I start to think about it, your yes is the most valuable thing that you have, because it amounts to your word. Your word is the most valuable thing that you have. You can't count the number of hairs. You can't determine whether they're black or they're white. You can't determine what's going to happen tomorrow or within the next 10 minutes. But your word is the only thing that you have control of. So your yes being yes and your no being no. When our yes is yes and we stand on our word and we actually honor the things that we say that we're going to do and we actually do it, then that's the start of integrity. Men of integrity. That's the whole premise of Rally Point. That we would be the men that we're called to be. And the first step in becoming the man that you're called to be is allowing your yes to be yes and your no to be no. To actually count the cost. To see what it is. There used to be a time in history when a man could get a loan just based on his word. Try going into a bank today and try and say, hey, let me borrow $10,000 and I promise I'll pay it back. See how far that gets you. But there was a time when you could walk into a financial establishment, to a bank or to a loan office and say, hey, I need to borrow this money and I promise to pay you back. And based on your word, they would give you the loan. What happened? What happened to mankind? What happened to us men when our wives, when our children, when our employers or employees, they can't trust our word because we've gone back on it so many times. We've taken it back so many times. We've not done what we said we were going to do. How many finished products? How many finished projects do you have lying around the house? How many times have you said to your wife that, honey, I will do this weekend. Honey, I will fix that. Son, we'll go fishing. Son, we'll go camping. Daughter, I will take you out for ice cream. Daughter, I will buy that dress for you. And at the end of the day, we reneged on our word. Your word is the most important thing that you have. It's the only thing that you can control. Is your word. So your yes being yes and your no being no is the first step in integrity. To being a man of integrity. And being a man of integrity is what God is looking for. He's looking for some men that honor what they say, because if you can't be trusted with your word, how can God trust you with anything big? We all the time ask God, do a great work with me and through me. Lord, let me be a shining light for you. Lord, do a great thing in me. We see all the time in the Bible, we see mighty men of God doing great works for the Lord. And we want to be like that. Hey, and I'm with you there. But God's not going to do a great work with you if you can't honor your word. If you can't honor your word, if your yes isn't yes, then how can God trust you with something big? Theodore Roosevelt said, the big jobs go to those who can prove that they can accomplish the small ones first. And a yes is a small step forward. So over the next 3 weeks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to you and I'm going to tell you 3 things that I see when our yes is yes and our no is no, it creates. Okay, so it creates trust. It creates stability, and it creates commitment. Next week, we'll talk about trust. How your yes creates trust. It's so important that we're trusted in our families. It's so important that we're trusted in our congregations, in our communities. That you're a man that people look at and they say, this is a man we can trust because his yes is yes and his no is no. So make sure you tune in over the next 3 weeks as we talk about why your yes should be yes and why your no should be no. I believe this is huge. If we really want to be the men that we're called to be, it has to start with a simple yes and owning up to it and honoring it. Hey, I'm Pastor Wes. Thank you so much for checking us out. Hey, don't forget to check out our Rally Point Men's Ministry website. It's rallypointmensministry.org. Also, our podcast, Rally Point Men's Podcast. You can find that on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Also, check out our website. Go there, check it out. There's a lot of good things going on. We have a few things coming up, so we're excited to get you involved. And I have a 5 video series that I'm doing that is just gonna talk about the process of manhood. Hey, the only way we can stand is together. So let's come together. Let's join together. Let's bond together. Let's walk together to be the men we're called to be. Hey, God bless you, and I look forward to seeing you again at the next Rally Point.